Hey, what's up, people? So it's Sunday. So as I was sitting here listening to this album, which I'll show in a second. Pardon me, I didn't shave today. It's Sunday, 19th day before inauguration. Ugh. But I received a couple of records in the mail yesterday from Curtis Simpson Jr. And oh, it's over. Wow. I don't have to wait to talk about these records. One he sent me to review. The band is apparently includes a friend of his, but the record that I just played that he also sent me as a musical gift, which I greatly appreciate, and I did not know about this. It just finished playing. Please excuse my look. I actually bother to shave sometimes when I turn on the camera and say, ugh. But this is the way I look. Curtis Simpson, thank you so much. Simpson Jr. It made it this time. Your records. This is fantastic. Highly recommend this. I did not know about this. The Cosmic Tones Research Trio. All is Sound. This is apparently a new release, released in November last year. I didn't know anything about these people. I looked it up. This is beautiful. This is what Andre 3000 is attempting. Okay? This has the vibe. This is real. The peace and the spiritual presence of these people comes through the music. It's wonderful, and I love the main fellow's hair. I'm jealous. Is it Roman Norfleet? I believe is his name. This is spiritual, flowing, cosmic, beautiful. This is awesome. Thank you so much, Curtis. And also I vibe with your message. Yes, from one, we stand in solidarity together as black men. I stand in solidarity with all people, but it's important to point out our blackness. This is wonderful. I was at first going to wait till Monday. I said, I don't need to wait till Monday. I'm going to review the other record because I can review that too. But this is highly recommended. This is new. Cosmic Tones Research Trio. All is Sound. Wow. Thank you, Curtis. Thank you so much. Now, the other record that he sent me for the purpose of being reviewed is a group called Love Patio. Love Patio. And I'll read what it says here. Love Patio was formed in 1987 by Ken Fabricator and Michael Jacobson. Within a few months of recording their first demos, Love Patio began gigging their debut performance. Okay. So the deal is they returned. Ken and Michael remained friends over the years, although they went their separate ways. And in 2023, Love Patio returned to the studio to re-record their original songs on contemporary equipment. This album was released October 2024. So this is instrumental. It's kind of well, the first thing I say is I can tell that this music is old. Not that it sounds dated, but I can just tell that it's not new. And it's interesting. It's nice. It's mostly, I think it's totally instrumental. I listen to both sides. Excuse me. It starts one way and ends another. It starts off with guitars, slightly jangly, maybe just a little bit, laid back kind of post-rock sort of thing. But they do several different things on this album, and they end with a saxophone piece of all things. So this is nice, and it's nothing overwhelming, but it's great, and I can see why these folks felt it was worth their while to not let this stuff die, to re-record it. This is nice, and I like instrumental music, and so there's parts where the guitars, the way they're going, it's almost like explosions in the sky, and then just a slight spaghetti western sort of feel on one track. Curtis, thank you so much for persevering to send me music, because I'm so sorry when you did years ago, I never found it. I made an attempt, but I wasn't going to try too hard, because that's what happens. I know people who work for the post office, and unscrupulous employees will steal shit. There'll be stuff sitting unclaimed for one reason or another, and after a while they'll just take it. That's probably what happened. Thank you for this music, though. Love Patio. This is new. Old stuff, but just issued. I don't see it on Discogs yet. Pick up on it, okay? Both of these. This is the one, though. Cosmic Tones Research Trio. This is wonderful. Just what I needed this morning, too. That's also why I went ahead and decided to do the video, because as I was listening to it, I was just thinking, this is just really nice. And I don't need to wait to talk about this. Yeah. So I'm sharing that. Thanks for the feedback and for watching and listening to my performance that I posted yesterday. Thankfully, and for me, I'm glad to see that more than 200 or 300 people watched the clip. Very proud of my music, and as you can see, I can throw down. That performance is from a few years ago, but I can still do it. I'm glad you watched and listened. The only record that I have sitting out, I played a couple things, but I put them away. Well, I'll pull this to make the connection. One of the VC members that I watch regularly, he only does one video a week, is Michael P. Dawson, a fellow musician. He strikes me like a college professor. I don't know if he teaches, but Michael P. Dawson strikes me as he would be a great professor, teacher. And the focus of his weekly video this week was Jefferson Airplane's After Bathing at Baxter's. I love this album, and I have a bit of a story about my copy. This came out in 1967. This is a early pressing, if not the first pressing. It is an RCA Deep Groove, as you can see by the label. Okay, so here's the story about this record, and I'm pretty sure this is the copy. See, it's been so long, sometimes I can't remember if I've replaced things or not. Anyway, I remember as a kid, as a teenager, going with my dad to some house where, interestingly, I had been to the house at another time for a party, that the kids had a party. But it turns out my dad knew the parents, and so I ended up going to this house. Didn't really know these people, but it was a musician. And while I'm waiting for my dad probably to buy pot or something, I'm sitting in the living room, and there's music playing, And of course, most of the records are jazz and R&B, but I noticed this album in the pile. And I said, wow, Jefferson Airplane over here at this guy's house? Wow, I was intrigued. Matter of fact, I was so taken by the album that my dad's friend noticed. Well, you sure do like looking at that record, huh? And I don't know what I said, but he gave it to me. He said, take it. Kind of surprised. It didn't, at the time, it surprised me. It was like, wow, yeah. But it also at the same time doesn't surprise me when I think back on it, where musicians of different stripes will end up with different records for different reasons, maybe to learn something. Maybe someone tried to turn them on to the record. But I love this album right away. It's very psychedelic, very crazy. I love it. Now, I learned something about it. The inner sleeve. Michael, that's the thing about Michael Dawson. He's so detail-oriented in his videos. So he talks about the inner sleeve and some talk about the doodles and stuff. And then he showed where his copy is a reissue or a second pressing or whatever, where there's a cut corner, but it's not cut because of the cutout way they would cut the entire corner of the record, so you can't resell it at full price. But for some reason, this person's face is cut out. I don't recognize the person. It doesn't look like Allen Ginsberg. I don't know. It looks like some kind of old. It's like I don't know why they. But I learned that from Michael, and that's why I enjoy his videos. I've watched a few other folks, but Michael is consistently full of facts and information. And I love the parallels in our collections. There's stuff that he, we're all individuals. So there's stuff that he has that I wouldn't want. And I'm sure it's vice versa. But it prompted me to listen to this all the way through. And I picked up on the Frank Zappa Freakout influence as a kid, because I was listening to Frank Zappa as a kid, way before I was doing drugs, and really, really was turned on to what Zappa was doing with Mothers of Invention. Consequently, I went ahead and listened to this as well. Crown of Creation. And I remember when this came out because it was getting airplay, of all things, here in Omaha somehow. Crown of Creation was getting airplay, and I love this album. I love how the inside one was a sound piece. Trishingura. A decent one. Decent sound craft. That's a great album. Lather. Triad, written by David Crosby. Still have the insert. I actually have two inserts. I don't know how that happened. Never saw the airplane, but I saw Jefferson Starship when they went out on the Red Octopus tour. So I got to see Grace Slick and Paul Kantner and Marty Balin perform. That was a shitty night. That was a bad drug night for me. I remember it, It was a good show. So that's what I have to share musically. And I'm just gonna. Oh yeah, I listened to this too, thinking about David Lynch. And I watched a breakdown about Mulholland Drive, and I see what it's about and why people think it's such a great movie. And I'm still not interested in seeing it. I think my work in psychiatry burned me out on humans. I am not interested in intrigue. I'm not. People are not mysterious to me. I really don't care. I just that point blank. I love you, but all your drama and shit, I don't give a fuck. I don't really care. Play me some music. That's where I'm at. Play the music. That's what I want to hear. Okay. Look up this Tones album. It's good, okay? Take care, folks.